Greetings and salutations, fellow geeks and nerds. I'm Gareth, this is the Geeks Journal, and welcome to the next episode. As always, we've got a ton of stuff to get through, so why don't we just get right to it? Come on. So earlier this week, the part of Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas Wayne, had been cast in Todd Phillips' Joker standalone movie. Hell. Why don't you tell him, Kim? Who did they cast?
Alec Baldwin.
So, Alec Baldwin's Batman's dad. Sounds pretty great, right? Right? Wrong. Because a mere couple of days later, Baldwin then dropped out of the project due to scheduling issues. Following an article in Hollywood Reporter's website, sources say that the script paints Thomas Wayne as a cheesy and tanned businessman who is more a mold of 1980s Donald Trump. Sounds pretty awful, right? It seemed like it's a common opinion, as following this announcement was made, Baldwin had gone onto Twitter to state the following. Let me state for the record that I have not been hired to play a role in Todd Phillips' Joker as some Donald Trump mank. That is not happening. Not happening. Okay, so this actually gives me the impression that this could well be due to creative differences rather than scheduling conflicts. Either way, if that's the concept they want to go with for the character, it sounds like Baldwin had a bit of a narrow escape, to be honest. Further proof that sometimes you really can't gauge how public desires will turn out when it comes to movies these days. One of the more surprising turns was the box office total for The Meg. The Jason Statham shark movie, which opened in early August, has earned over $412 million globally, while the latest Star Wars film, which opened past May, has earned just around $392 million in its lifetime run.
Well, what do you know?
That's not opinion, Han. That's just fact. That's maths, sadly. And now, this is probably only going to fuel Disney's reasoning for holding off on any further Star Wars spin-offs. Various fans around the world, with preemptive nerd rage, boycotted the film that they apparently really didn't want. In response, the studio have indicated all other spin-offs, including the fan favourite Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, would go on hold to get things in order before proceeding. Was Solo a flawless film? Of course not. But it's still a fun watch. But this isn't the first time that things like this have been put on hold indefinitely. In 2012, Lucasfilm released The Phantom Menace in 3D, with George Lucas basically saying that if it's popular enough, then that could pave the way for further 3D edits of the original trilogy as well. Some months later, though, the sale to Disney came to light, and there wasn't going to be any 3D releases, and fans got burned having to sit through Episode 1's political trade dispute movie once again in cinemas.
Who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows it?
It still hurts. Why do I still have these? In the latest stint of reboots being churned through the industry at the moment, the private detectives led by the reclusive Charlie are next to go through the grinder. Written and directed by Elizabeth Banks, who will also be starring as Charlie's boots-on-the-ground Bosley. Now, whilst the story isn't really known at this time, we do know the cast. Power Rangers Naomi Scott, fellow UK actress Ella Balinska have all been cast, and now they have found their final angel, Kristen Stewart. Is this a good idea? I mean, who knows? But from a perspective of a movie franchise depicting strong female characters, I think it's very refreshing that we have something available that isn't DC or Marvel orientated. But, however, the most important question that we need to take away from this at this point before we get any further is, how does Kristen Stewart keep getting work? I just don't know. So a poster was released recently promoting new movie Holmes and Watson, starring none other than Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly? Sorry. What? I mean, I don't deny they're a great comedy duo. Talladega Nights is a personal favourite of mine, but this might be a little bit controversial, but I actually don't like Step Brothers that much.
What did you say?
You heard me, Burgundy. To my mind, there's only one Sherlock Holmes spoof in existence that's worth a watch, and that's called Without a Clue, which stars Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley, and that was 30 years ago. Okay, there's a reason why there's not been many since. Honestly, I think I'm out, but I'm probably in out of blind curiosity more than anything else. Time's going to tell where this will fit in the Will Ferrell scale from semi-pro to Anchorman. Yes, that's right. Semi-pro is 1, Anchorman is 10. Prove me wrong. Okay, so before we go too far into this, first we need to address the elephant in the room that is Universal's Dark Universe as it stands at the moment. Now, for those of you unaware, this was Universal's reboot of the classic monster movies that had made incarnations like Claude Rains as the Invisible Man, Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster, and of course, Bela Lugosi as Dracula, such world-recognized characters. And they were going to redo these with the likes of Johnny Depp playing the Invisible Man and Javier Bardem playing Frankenstein's monster. Unfortunately, all of this promise was bludgeoned to death by the release of the first installment of Universal's new Monsterverse with The Mummy starring Tom Cruise. I mean, seriously, was it necessary to go that modern? What's wrong with the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies? It's a trick question. They're awesome. There's nothing wrong with them. But this is where Blumhouse Productions come in. Now, rumour is that they'd like a crack at managing the Universal Monsterverse. From franchises such as Insidious, Paranormal Activity and The Purge, as well as movies such as Jordan Peele's masterpiece Get Out, Blumhouse have proved themselves more than capable in production of quality horror and thriller genres. The take-home from this is that if there is a slightest hint that this is possible, Universal, let them have a go. Seriously, I mean, they couldn't do much more damage at this point. What have you got to lose? Well, that's actually all we've got time for today. And thanks again so much for taking the time to watch these videos. I'm enjoying putting them together. I hope you're enjoying watching them. In the meantime, we're still posting on the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitters. So please like and join those groups where you can. The IDs will be up on the screen right now. And with YouTube as well, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll have more fresh content out for you soon. I'm sorry it's taking so long to actually get more stuff out there. I do want to start doing things more regularly. Unfortunately, regular life does have a tendency of getting in the way, but again, I promise you, I will put out as much as I can when I can. Until then, end of line.